Hello everybody. I've got a ranked game today because I've been playing a lot more uh, ranked custom packs recently. Mainly just playing people in the async queue because it's pretty hard to find a game in the live queue. This game was against Chum, who is, established good player who I also think has been getting into customs fairly recently because of the new update. From what I could see from this game, his pack seems to be a lot more tempo oriented. You'll see me lose lives a lot very early on, but the main idea of my custom pack is to use the busted farmer cat rabbit shenanigans as its own form of tempo. Where what I do is essentially just try and get a board with rabbit, farmer cat, swan, and these types of things, and then just use the tempo is those units stay on board, and I just buff whatever I have on my board already, and so far it seems to be working out pretty well. I've won 3 consecutive games and gotten to I think 13th on the leaderboard, but I mean, to be fair, that really isn't that much of a an accomplishment because 13th place is also still top 10%. Anyway, you see me take Flycatcher here, which is at least good for a tiny amount of time just to deal with the tempo. Jump hits double baboon here with a Bigfoot, which is a very nice buff target. The Royal Flycatcher keeps us in the game for a while, but it's not anywhere near game defining because you can very easily sell the Groundhog. This is what happens here. You get a lucky Anteater spawn, but it's not quite enough. So it seems like it's going to be very difficult for me to catch up by this point if Chum just kind of finds a good buff target for the 2 baboons. But you'll see this pack do its thing in a little bit. The important thing to remember when you're building a custom pack for ranked specifically is that it's not just a case of put in all of the big scaling units. Because if you do that, you will get very easily out-tempoed. You need enough tech to where you can deal with a massive amount of tempo units if your opponent takes them. But you also need to keep enough scaling and kind of XP generation with stuff like Crow to where you can kind of accelerate some sort of massive scaling game plan. I actually skipped a rabbit here, but the important part to remember is that rabbit is not the sole game plan this pack has. It's a very good line to take, just because of how many stats you get in that amount of time, but there's also these things like Banana Pill that you see here. So I sell the Flycatcher, it's becoming a lot more useless now. And I Banana Pill onto Spider, because that will give me an extra gold from the summon. We really don't need to keep Brain Cramp here. I put another one onto the Anteater because we want to pill that anyway for gold. And I also have Jersey Devil in the pack, so I can sell the level 3 ants as an additional game plan if I need to. And yeah, here on the last roll, I hit a Farmer Cat. Now, the thing to note is that the monkey is 2-2 right now. Immediately, this does get to the 10 attack breakpoint, so I thought it made most sense to leave it in front, but this is the point where... Okay, no, it's not this fight, it's the next fight. Chum hits Turkey, and is able to have a level 3 gear because of Pug and Chocolate Cake. And also has the Nurikabe. So the Baboon isn't really doing much immediately, but it is still scary. Like, I'm on 2 lives and he's hit a lot of tempo. I level the monkey and find cow and chop, which is very nice because we're able to just make a giant unit with melon. And I'm thinking at this point, like, this will probably be fine to get me through a turn. Like, we hit the breakpoint here of attack against health. But this is the point where I learn that Chum's pack has Baguette in it. And because of the Nurikabe, we're not quite able to get there. We go down to 1 life. This is, like, looking scary already. But unfortunately, we found the chimpanzee and we instantly win the game. Like, I'm not even kidding. Look how many stats we gained from a single waffle now. I mean, it's completely absurd. This is not even like a massive high roll of a turn 9 board. Like, okay, sure, I hit like chimpanzee on 9. But like, I mean, there are much bigger high rolls that this pack can get. You know what I mean? And so, like, at this point, I've just got a setup where I just kind of roll for waffles, and, like, I can just outstat anything that, the Chum is able to do with his pack. Like I said, his pack seems quite tempo-oriented. From what I can tell. Unfortunately, can't, like, freeze the tofu to try and do anything like that. Here I try and play around the Baguette a little more, and also, my thinking with this positioning is that Chum will know I will try and play around Baguette, and he might think that by doing that I'll put Melon second, because I'm putting some other food perk first, and then he can kill the Melon off with chili damage. So the idea of Farmer Cat second was just to play around that. At this point, like, it literally 2 turns we've had a massive turnaround. And now, like, the game is almost impossible to lose. Like, that's how crazy this new Corn Cob synergy is, really. When you, like, look at the numbers. I freezed this Compedo for a bit, which was definitely, like, not good. The general idea is, like, I mean, I've buffed this entire board and nothing here has abilities, it's just, like, massive stats giving me somewhat, tempo. But, I mean, even then, it's still an insane amount. But the idea is, like, if I have to go late game into this pack, I just scale to almost max stats and then Compedo everything into some units with abilities. Like, you'll see this pack has, like, Leopard, for instance, that has an ability, or, like, Turtle, Parrot, things like that. Jersey Devil, even. I think I actually probably want to get rid of something in this pack for Hydra. Even, like, maybe Anglerfish. This pack is still pretty early on. But, yeah, that's kind of the idea of how I go late with this pack. And I also have Oyster Mushroom as a further way to just make units without abilities into units with abilities. I find another melon here. And just decide, like, the chili's gone, I shouldn't have to worry about melon second. And this still plays around Baguette in the best way. So he's got Peanut in the pack. But, I mean, we're kind of already playing around that by just not having our biggest unit in the front. And, I mean, look at this. We already almost have a 50-50. I think we find another waffle this turn. Yeah. So, we just have a 50-50 Swan on turn 13. which by itself is not like massive, especially in customs. But it's just the fact that like I can go to 1. Also, funny interaction there. I can Peto into a Sauropod, and then the Sauropod activates, and I get gold from it. That's kind of cool. But it's just like the fact that I can survive tempo, and I can have enough tempo to get to late game by just buying foods. Because the new food synergy is that good, and we get the comeback win. And like even here, like now I have extra gold from Sauropod, and we'll just end up like, even if I say I was on 2 lives at this point and I lost this fight, we kept going into turn 15, 16, I just Competo everything, and can get like a massive board of leopards with enough time. That's why I also have Water of Youth in the pack. Like it's crazy stuff. But yeah, that's the pack that I've made for customs. The main reason is that Full Belly Laugh's customs tournament is coming up, where you can bring your own custom pack and face against other people's custom packs. And I mean, sure, this is like showing off what my pack is ahead of time, which is probably not the best idea, but it'll probably change. And honestly, I'm just excited to grind out customs, because right now it hasn't actually been looking that bad. But I guess we'll see, because a lot of stuff is new. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.